if you say to someone, "Oh, come race a World Cup," you wouldn't say to them to come to Fort William to race their first World Cup, would you?
Quite something to get used to, yeah.
No?
Yeah.
It's probably the gnarliest track to like race for the first time.
All right, before we drop in on this episode with Roger Vieira, I wanted to stop by and let you know that the Race Companion is now live. All right, the race.
We're ready for the season. It's exciting.
Dude. Yeah, so the Race Companion has had an all-new facelift. We've got a brand new website, improved gameplay, new sponsors, exciting prizes. You can create leagues with your friends. It's the ultimate fantasy mountain bike platform. All right, it's a thing now. It really is.
It's
And
race season coming in hot.
race season's coming in hot. It's time to set your teams, create a league with your friends, and have some fun with the UCI Downhill World Cup season. Plus, we're going to be running some special games for Red Bull Hardline and also Rampage. But you're not even going to know about them if you don't head over and sign up. So, theracecompanion.com, sign up, play for free, and have some fun with the race season.
Is that the racecompanion.com?
It's theracecompanion.com.
I've already got my picks. My team is ready. I'm going for the win.
We'll see you there.
We are on today's guest. He's a World Cup racer. You've seen him race Hardline in Tasmania, and he's fresh off a third place finish at the Red Bull Cerro Abajo in Guanajuato. That's right. He's just got his invite for Hardline through the post.
Wales.
Oof. 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 Thanks for coming down. Roger Vieira, everyone. Stoked to have you, dog.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Stoked to be here.
Furthest travelled, I think, as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brazil, a long way, isn't it, to come do the
Long way.
podcast?
It is a long way.
All the way from Brazil just for the pod. Yeah, we won't mention I live here, yeah.
See, how long have you lived here?
It's been 11 years now, yeah.
11 years, yeah.
Long time.
You're in Derby.
Yeah, but I initially I was living in London.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I lived there for 4 years
Okay.
and then moved to Derby.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess for a job, which we'll probably get into in a bit.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to start this talking about your childhood in Brazil.
Dude, absolutely.
Because I find it fascinating that you're from Brazil, World Cup racer, and live in Derby. So yeah, I'd love for you just to talk a little bit about growing up in Brazil. Where are you from? What did it look like as a young Roger in Brazil?
Yeah. So yeah, like I lived in the south of part of Brazil, a city called Isara. So it's like a small city. And yeah, like I remember when I had my first bike, learned how to ride it, and my dad was super into bikes. So yeah, like my childhood was mostly like riding. Like we had we built a track in on a empty land which was in front of my house.
Right.
And we got permission from the owner. He let us build, so we built jumps, and so I pretty much would ride there all day pretty much.
So
with
mountain
friends.
bikes from the beginning.
Yeah, it was all. I started riding. My dad took me into when I was very young. He was riding cross country races.
Yeah.
In town, and because I was small, I was starting on a 20 inch, and I started racing that, and that got me into a 24 inch bike after, and I would be always the guy that would struggle uphill but would go good in the downhill. So
you got your brother there as well to compete with.
Yeah, he was still super young, so because it's 4 year difference between us. So yeah, it's I was probably I don't know 7, 8, and I was already racing cross country, and he was still probably 4, 3 years old. So he was not racing yet. But yeah, that's how it started. Starting cross country, and then he progressed into downhill. But yeah, it was it's crazy leaving Brazil, and my dad super passionate. My family and then my dad had a bike shop. He was he worked on a big supermarket, and he literally left the big supermarket to go to America to live the American dream. Wow. Illegally going to America. He paid this guy money to take him to America, and the guy disappeared with his money, and then he didn't go. Like he on the day to go, he went there. The guy wasn't there. He left his job, like sold loads of stuff to go to America, and it didn't happen. So it was him and another friend. So him and this friend that did this thing left the job and everything. They decided to open a bike shop. Then they opened the bike shop, and then like kind of, because they both liked bikes and stuff, and he went from there.
So there's a good scene
In Brazil, like bike-wise.
Well, I guess more specifically where you were in Brazil.
Yeah, like Santa Catarina is like well known from downhill because we had Markov Berthold. So like he back in the day was like he got like 2 podiums in the World Cups, and he used to ride for that global racing team, where was Greggy, Mikana, and like the famous team back in the 2000s, and I think he raced till World Cups till 2010 or something like that. So like we always had that reference, and like he brought downhill into our state, which is Santa Catarina, like quite strongly. So the scene on downhill, it was like quite strong because of him over there.
I don't know anything about Brazil, really. What's the culture like? What was it like growing up there? Is it like I mean, in my head, I used to live with a Brazilian guy actually, which I totally just remembered about. But he'd often talk about a bit of corruption. There was some huge gaps between, earnings. So they're like really wealthy people, but in the same town and village, you'd have like really quite poor people. Was it like that where you were growing up, or? Yeah,
pretty much. Like said, like it's a lot of corruption between like the governments and stuff. Like people just trying to make money all kind of ways.
Yeah.
Applying for projects to the government that is just like all corrupt.
Okay.
And yeah, like football is a big thing there.
Yeah.
Always been. That's like kind of the culture, and but yeah, like it's I don't know. It's like quite nice because like you have nice weather there, and everyone's kind of happy, and it's really nice to live there and to go to visit. But the problem is like they have like so much taxes and like all that stuff, and like the amount of money they pay you there, like the minimum wage, like to live on a minimum wage there is super hard. It's a struggle. Like we're here in UK, like you have a minimum wage and you can live okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard, and like all the imported stuff, like bikes there are so expensive. Like they have like so much like import tax and stuff like that, which makes it really hard to have things and like to accomplish things as well,
Yeah.
To have a good bike you need to like I was lucky that my dad had a bike shop, and he would get like trade price he would buy direct from the importers, so it was cheaper, and we would like, once I started doing good results, we would get like some deals with the importers, so I could have like some half decent bike. But I started racing like with a hardtail like bike that I was like cracking frames like every now and then, and yeah, until I got my Kone Stink bike, which was a full suspension. I was like, oh, yes. Like the rear of my bike wasn't kicking anymore, and I was like, yes, this is. And it wasn't even a downhill bike yet, but I was like, wow, I made it.
Had your dad like not started that bike shop, do you think you'd still be sat here now?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Yeah. It was all, everything like really because of him, if you think about it, because even moving to UK and now like having accomplished what I have accomplished and done the races I've done. But if I was still in Brazil, I probably wouldn't gone that far.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much impossible to race World Cups, and like come to Europe from Brazil is so expensive, and like no one is sponsoring like really athletes there. Like we have like very few guys that are living off bike there. It's super hard.
Yeah, again, I don't know anything about Brazilian mountain bike scene.
So, you did have people to look up to. I guess it makes it all the more important to have those riders, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like Markov was like pretty much, or like I think everyone that was racing back in Brazil, like on that age, like was looking up to Markov and what he managed to achieve. So he also moved from Brazil, went abroad to try and like race. His dad like sold everything as well and did that. So yeah, like as a kid growing up there, my dream always been like, oh, I want to race World Cups. Like that was always the dream, like to race World Cups
Yeah.
and like do something similar to what Markov did.
Mm.
So we're like all like kind of looking up to him.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, first Brazilian I kind of became aware of was Bernardo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bernardo, a big help for the Brazilian scene.
Yeah, he's like kind of similar generation as me.
Yeah,
so
okay,
he came like through like he's probably a bit older than me.
Yeah, I was thinking he's a bit older.
Yeah. But yeah, he started doing like big things when I was already like really like kind of, how can I say it? Like I was like I was already kind of elite, like second year junior and
you
stuff.
were on the path by that
Yeah, I
point,
was already
so,
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like he wasn't like really the guy that was like kind of looking up to it, but he was like doing like really good things as well. But yeah, he was amazing. Like he did so like really, really good things like with the whip off and kind of put the Brazil like also like up there as well.
Yeah.
But it was just a bit late like to be like kind of be the guy that I was looking for.
No, I completely get it. He actually becomes a competitor more.
Cause I was racing against him as well. Like once I came into elite, then like started racing against and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's doesn't really. And also he was from a different state, like really far away from where I was.
Okay.
And like you kind of don't really like, you know, like don't have that like kind of same.
So
like,
is there a
same
national
bond.
series in Brazil?
Yeah, you have like
Yeah.
the states. Each state has their own, because it's such a big country.
Yeah.
Like they have like America, like they have like so loads of
Okay.
different states.
Okay.
So they have like the state championship, and then they have like nationals,
Right.
like races in each state that are like the points that you do there, they count for the national ranking. If you say so. It's a bit different how they run, but yeah. And then they have also national champs, which is like that. Yeah.
One race.
One race, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you
which is
raced
cool.
all of those. At what point what was your first international race?
First international race, I think I went, it was in Chile.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nevada de Chilon. Like they had this race called Open Shimano, which is like in South America. So they had like a round in Brazil, a round in Argentina, and a round in Chile. So yeah, like I raced the round in Brazil, and it was my first year elite, and I finished second. So I managed to like find some money to do for the next two rounds, and then in the end I finished like second place on that, like on the ranking.
Yeah.
On my first year elite as well, was pretty stoked on that.
You got pretty unique perspective in a lot of ways, because like you've lived in the UK and you see kind of what part of the mountain bike world gets put out to you. So I mean, my eyes were open when I built first street race track. I was just like open to Latin American riders and the scene, and seeing how many people and from so many different places are really quick. And it's kind of only more recently that we're getting people, you know, yourself included, Latin American riders riding at the highest stage, hardline, for instance, and you know the Cerro Abajo is really good for it. It must be quite interesting that you've also lived in England and kind of been aware of all of it and seen both sides.
Yeah. I think it's really hard to like, if you are from Brazil and you're living there, to like make it, like do well here. Like I'm not saying you can do it, but it makes it really hard because like everything is so different. Not only the tracks, but like just like the competition and everything. You know what I mean? Like just like getting used to the tracks and stuff like that. We have like the two Colombian kids. They are living Colombian, and they are doing really well in the World Cup circuit. But they've been racing for quite a bit now, like the races. So like you gotta like race every single race and like get the experience, and the next year you come back, you're like more familiarized with these tracks and you know a bit better, and then you do better, and you end up like each year improving more and more. But but yeah, it's really hard, like, because you just don't have like the same structure that we have here, like, and it's so much easier, isn't it, like to go to the World Cups and tracks in Europe.
Yeah.
If you are in South America, then it's like, yeah, it's not only money, but also like everything else in the middle is, yeah, it's really hard
Logistically.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you're in Brazil and you're thinking, well, it's a World Cup series, but it's a European World Cup series.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you started off racing XC.
Yeah.
Yeah, did all right at that. When was your first downhill race? I know we're skipping around a little bit here. Sorry.
Nah, it's so good. Yeah, like in 2007, I think.
Okay.
It was my first downhill race.
Yeah.
So it was like in like this town, the biggest town close to mine, which was like 20 minutes away from my town, and they had like a big hill there, and like a older bike shop was like organizing an event. So my dad let me go, and he said, "Oh yeah, I really want to do this race." And then I had like a Fuji bike, like cross country, 26-inch. Like I'm a small guy, and back then I was even smaller.
Yeah.
And I think the frame was like a 17-inch, open face helmet. Like no idea what was going on. So I did my quali run, and I was like, I don't know, it was like a kid there that was like full suspension bike, like proper like rich kid, and he won. And I think I was like 15 seconds back on like a minute and a half track, and I was like, oh, I think I can beat him. I think like if I go faster, I think I can take it 15 seconds, like not knowing that 15 seconds is a lot of time downhill. And yeah, I went to my race run, like pretty much the first bit of the track, like I tried to go fast, went over the bars, crashed, and I woke up half an hour later, like spitting mud off my spitting mud, and like a woman on my side, and I was like, didn't even know who she was, and she was asking me questions, and I was like, what's going on?
I need a new helmet.
Yeah. So yeah, like that was good, because after that, like my dad saw like that I was like really wanted to do that, and I was like really passionate about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that race, he followed me every single race, and then bought me a full face helmet, and like got like a little free ride bike, like a shoe-in frame, like, but it was like actually like a free ride one, so like a 14-inch, or like, you know, like the size of it was like smaller, like nice bike. And then then all started.
Sick.
First experience wasn't
not
great.
good. This might be a kooky question, but we'll go for it. But like, what was your access to mountain biking at that point, as far as the media stuff? What did you get? What did you look at that inspired you? Did you get like the latest DVDs? Did you get?
Oh yeah, we used to like download like the New World Orders and all the stuff that was happening, like season first, all those movies. We used
so you knew about it. I mean, I know you're not from Mars, but like, it just seems so far away.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard.
No, yeah, definitely. Like it back then. Also, like didn't have like Instagram and all that stuff. Yeah, but it was literally, it wasn't much magazines, but it was more like the New World Order and like the movies that they were making back then, which was like really cool. And we would like go for a ride, like a group of rides, like my dad and like some other like riders. Yeah, and we would go like on this cross country ride, but like we would just find like some crazy sketchy like places, like you know, old quarries or shit like that, and just find some stuff to go down, or like that were really steep and technical, or like some jumps, and like just like having some fun, and then cross some rivers and like try like jump into rivers, and just some crazy days. And then at the end of the day, we would just like go and watch these movies. Like always have like someone that had like computer in the group, so like I downloaded that, and let's watch it, and then we'd go and watch it. It's like quite cool.
That's cool, man. Yeah. So when when did you start getting real fast? As far as, you know, you must have been winning some stuff in Brazil.
Yeah, like it was all very like, it wasn't like, oh, he's gonna be like, he's gonna be the one. Never been like that. It was always slow and step by step, like always like super gradually getting faster. So yeah, like I did a 1 year youth like on the state championship, and then I don't know, I was always like top 5, like podium, but like never like really the guy that was winning the races. And then my dad decided to step away from 1 year. For some reason he thought like, oh, it's no point doing like another year of youth.
Okay.
And then came back as like my first year junior, and then I started doing quite well. Started like winning some races and like doing pretty good. And then like the second year junior, which was but then also at that time my dad started taking the shop to the races.
Okay.
So he was like taking me and my brother to the races, but he was also making money, which was paying for like the travels, and like me and my brother, he was there to help us, but he was also like changing parts for people, fixing their bikes, and like making some money. And then that grow also as we went, because he started with like just like a little tent, and then he bought like a little like something that attached it to the truck. It was like the parts were there, and it was like a little bit shop,
mobile bike shop. Nice.
And then as that got smaller, he bought a truck. Like not like the World Cup truck, but like I don't know how to say, like, I don't know how is the model like in UK, but like he had like the wall of the truck would like go down.
Okay.
And it had like 2 walls. One would go down, the other would go up, and then the parts would be there, and then inside had like all the parts like showing, and then he had a tent on the side which had the like mechanic and stuff like that.
Oh dude, I remember at races when you're younger and you're just obviously you don't have any money when you're a youth and you're just looking in the shops, looking in the pits, like oh my,
so good. We had one Middleton MX that did all the motocross rounds, but they had all like the most like the newest stuff was always at the, and you couldn't afford it, but you just go and look.
Moto's good because it's like American import.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
pro circuit
so they had like no fear kit, and you just like whoa. Or Troy Lee, like all the stuff that you couldn't really afford.
I still get it every now and then. There'll be something that I just think, you just want to
touch and like
like back to being a kid. I get it way less now. I don't really want like things as much, but every now and then I think, whoa,
yeah,
it's funny.
It's a shame we lose that a little bit as you get older, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a shame.
I think it's when you need new hobbies, and you just go into like a new style shop.
That's true.
You know, and you're like, whoa,
you can still get it.
Yeah, you can still get it.
Just with lamps in IKEA.
Exactly.
Cool being older.
So true.
So what came first? Did you do your first World Cup before or after you moved to the UK?
Yeah, it was when I moved to here, like in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did that move come about?
Yes.
Well, like from Brazil to UK. So yeah, my dad like was kind of a bit fed up with like all the taxes and all like the stuff that was going on in Brazil. Yeah. And like back from when I said he wanted to go to America, he always had this idea in his head that he wanted to come, like get off Brazil and like try the life somewhere else, Europe or America or whatever. So he started like doing all the paperwork to get his Italian like passport, because he's like we got descendants from Italians, so his like grandmother was Italian.
Yeah.
So he started doing like all the paperwork in Brazil, and then he flew to Italy, stayed there for 6 months, got his passport, did all the process, and then he was trying to find a job because he wanted to stay in Italy, but it wasn't jobs there. And he didn't speak like the language and stuff, and then he managed to find a job in Germany and one in Italy, and one in UK. Sorry.
Okay, right.
And then he decided to go with the UK one because he didn't need to work on the weekends.
Yeah.
Where the Germany one, he would need to work on the weekends. So
weekends are for racing, dude.
Yeah, weekends are for like taking the boys to ride. So
yeah.
He took that, and then he moved to UK, and then like once he was like set out there, he like told my mom and us, oh yeah, I'm ready, got a house here. Wow. So you guys come. So like we sold like everything, like sold the shop, sold everything, and then yeah, we came to UK.
I'm
That's
always
a
in awe.
huge
of it.
family move.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
always
it?
find it so impressive. I've never lived anywhere other than, here. I always find it really impressive. Obviously, you have like dreams of it and you go somewhere and you think, oh, I could live here. But the actual reality of it is massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, could you
it's-
speak the language at that point?
No, none of us could. Yeah.
That's a big move then.
Yeah, so how old were you when you moved over?
18.
You're 18?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. That is, the thought of it. The balls of your dad as well, dude, like, to uproot the family and
Yeah,
move to another country.
exactly,
To the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Hell of a
it's-
thing to do.
Yeah. Fair play to him. He was also like really stressed out, like with the whole shop and like everything. Like it was super stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from taxes, is there anything else about, I know you don't want to shit on the country, but like anything else you're trying to get away from? Or is it just
for
the
me? It
idea
was
of a better
it
life?
was nothing about nothing about that. For me,
Okay.
it was just about like obviously that was my dad because he had a shop and he was actually a grown up, where I was just like a kid wanting to realize like get his dream like real, like just wanted to race and be a World Cup rider and win a World Cup. That was the goal and that was the dream. So moving to England, it was for me the best.
Closer to the races.
Yeah, like the best option for me to actually achieve what I wanted. So yeah,
I think I obviously didn't know much about your move, so to learn that it was like the whole family that uplifted and moved is really interesting, because I just kind of assumed that it would be you going after a career path on your own, moving to the UK. So yeah, it's even more gnarly that you kind of all left. So you just left all of your friends, like everything. You just like
bye.
moving country. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't have much friends, to be fair, because I
Okay.
was every weekend racing.
Right.
Like I had like the race friends, but like back at home, like I wouldn't like I would like be helping my dad during the week in the shop, and like some weeks he would take me to like practice as well on the track that we built on like on town as well.
Right.
And then in the weekends I was racing because he had the shop, so we were like literally racing all over Brazil with like. Then he had the truck as well. It was easy to travel. We were like racing all the races that you could imagine. Like I was probably racing like 30, 40 races a year.
Yeah.
Like something crazy. We had like 2 different federations in Santa Catarina, which is our state. And I was racing both like, and each one had like 10 races each per year. And I was racing both. So I was racing one in junior and the other one I was racing in elite. And I remember like, cause like, in the other federation, it was like Markov's dad. That was like that he was the one that like organized, and I was racing that on elite as a junior. And I remember the first time I beat Markov, and that for me was like because I was like always looking up to him, and then like to finally like beat him, like it was big.
That's rad.
See, you land in the UK, and it's like, what's next?
It's
Like,
so crazy.
it's such a crazy thought to me, because the alternative is that I moved to Brazil, which instantly seems quite appealing. Very sunny, very beautiful. Get to UK, grey, rainy, don't speak the language. How do you sort of like begin? Is I guess bikes are kind of helpful for that.
Yeah, like so my dad had this guy that gave him a job, which was Brazilian as well, so he helped us quite a lot to like get into it, and he started working for him.
Yeah.
So it's like he was working construction as a roofer. And then, as we got here, we start like, my dad managed to get me a job on the construction that he was working in the canteen. So I was like washing plates for like, I don't know, like 6 months or something like that, like to help as well. And I would just ride to work. So we lived near Stratford in London. Okay. And then work was like in town in Bank. So it's like, just ride to work every day, rain, shine. And then I started working as a roofer as well. Then came my spot available to work with my dad. And then I started working as that as well. And then on the weekends, I would just go online and see where it was downhill tracks. So I pretty much been every single like track, like pushing up just to know if the spot was good or not. Yeah. And then after that, you just try to select the ones that were good to ride. Yeah. But like being to Riola, like turned up there without knowing anything. like just get to the bottom of the car park, start pushing your bike up, find the track, push up the track, like don't know, like half a day pushing up the track to do one run or like 2 max, and then go back to London.
Whoa.
After it's like way hour trip to do 2 runs at Riola.
Oh, it's insane,
But
isn't it?
that was the only way for us to find out where to ride and how, like, yeah.
Holy.
And then we were obviously knew all the stuff here around here, like we had like Pork Bike Park, which is not
pork.
it doesn't exist anymore, but we used to race that series and like ride quite a bit there.
Yeah, it's true, because in those times there weren't really bike parks. It wasn't really as structured and organised here, was it? It was like more word of mouth and
and then at the same time, everything was like too. It like here in South, unfortunately, it's all too small, isn't it? Like it's like max,
for a downhill bike.
Yeah, max like 1 minute runs, which for someone that's wanting to do World Cups is not really ideal.
Yeah,
when you're gonna go and race 5 minutes tracks, like
Roger turning up to the Surrey Hills with his downhill bike. It's like I've heard there's some tracks.
But that's exactly what I did. Yeah.
No way. Yeah. Wow.
Because I didn't have enduro bike or anything. It's all downhill.
I mean, they probably didn't even exist. Like, was it in like
2014, 15?
2014? Ah, okay, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's remarkable how recent it was.
Yeah.
You know, like I also used to push up these 1 minute hills and ride down them on a downhill bike. It just seems insane now. Like, it seems like it would be quicker on an enduro bike. Like, they're not steep enough or gnarly enough to almost have a benefit. Like,
yeah, it's true.
Funny to think.
Speaking of benefits, here's a benefit to our listeners, and it's an amazing ad break.
Davey, dude, I was in London the other day.
Yeah.
I had my bike with me and I was locking it up, and I had, you know, HipLok, they make the wearable lock.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, this is such a dialed product. You wear it, it locks the bike up, it's super secure. I wish they just did more products because they're so good. It's a shame they only do that, right?
Mate, you'd think so, but you would be very wrong. HipLok make loads of security products. Like the list is seemingly endless, all right? D-locks, chain locks, cable locks, security ties, folding locks, home storage, accessories. You literally can't go wrong with shopping on hiplok.com. There's everything you're going to need.
Really? Yeah.
For every budget as well, which is really nice.
So, for instance, if I wanted like a, I don't know, like a lock that I could use on a gravel trip, that I could just quickly lock my bike up outside like a coffee shop, let's say.
Funny you should say that, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of my favourite products at the moment is the Z-Lock, okay? It looks like this.
You mean they make it?
They literally make it. It's already done, man. You thought you had a revolutionary idea there, didn't you? But
did.
they've already thought of it and already produced
thought
it.
of it.
Look at it, Z-Lock combo, okay? It basically is a cable tie.
Yeah.
Okay? But obviously really strong. So you just have to press that button and do that, and it's unlocked. So I was basically putting that in my bag. Then you just press it, sound effect, lock it, done. And then you set your own 3-digit combo. Mate, I mean, I honestly took this on that gravel trip I just did. And for locking a bike up at night, or maybe like you say, we stop at a coffee shop. If you just want a bit of security, bit of peace of mind.
Quick security.
Boom.
Do they? But would you say they do something that you could like? Maybe is a bit heavier and kind of a bit more thief-proof. Maybe angle grinders don't get through it.
Mate, that's when you're going to need the D1000.
What? They already do it?
They already do it, dude. Angle grinder
hands.
proof. And did you know most bikes are stolen with an angle grinder?
Is that so? Yeah.
That is a fact.
I didn't know that.
It's heavy, isn't it?
It is heavy. It is heavy. I imagine it comes with a heavy price tag as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is upper price tier, but it's also upper security. It's upper peace of mind. You can't go wrong.
But
they start.
Is there any way we can like help people out? Like,
see
what I was trying to do there?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right. Before we get into that, I just want to say I also just installed an airlock, which is behind me here. So this is like a wall hanger. So basically, you put your bike in here.
Yeah.
It's like a nice storage solution as well as super safe.
So we've got the coffee shop. We've got the gravel bike outside.
Yep.
That's taken care of by that.
Yep.
We've got
at home
the bike rack.
Yeah.
Maybe at work, you're commuting in. No one's getting through that with an angle grinder. You've also got the garage security.
Yeah, full system, full security, no You know what I mean? No issues. You're secure, basically, is what we're trying to say.
So basically, if you go on hiplok.com,
Yeah.
you're going to find something for your security needs.
Yes, you are. But maybe we should put a little offer in. You know what I mean?
There we go.
We should put a little offer in. You know, we spoke to our friends at HipLok and we said, hey, can we do something special?
Yeah.
So we're going to do something special.
Yeah.
We're going to give 20% off, okay? Pretty much every product on hiplok.com.
It's not the 1000 series products, though, is it?
It isn't.
But it is the D1000. That's right, and that's angle grinder proof. So
It is.
it does include even this monster here.
Yes, we decided to get that chucked in, all right?
Oh, that's really good.
So there are a few other things which you can find out in the T&Cs in the show description, but ultimately 20% off everything at hiplok.com. It's riding season. It means that people are keeping an eye out on your bike, and you don't want that. You want to make sure that you've got peace of mind when you're at home, at the trails, or traveling.
Do you know what? I've been running HipLok for years and years and years. I used to have a pickup truck, leave bikes in the back of it, and I'm stoked that we got them as a sponsor because it's such an easy ad read. No one wants their bike nicked, and HipLok stop that happening the very best.
They do. Head over to hiplok.com. It's one of those things as well, let's be honest, that you're going to go, oh, I'm going to get one of those one day. I'm going to get one of those one day, and then too late. All right? So act now. Head to hiplok.com. Punch in the code, the Ride Companion 20.
Is that all capitals? The Ride Companion 20?
That's correct. It's on screen right now, flashing, and enter that at hiplok.com. And you'll get yourself 20% off. And why not tell your friends as well? Because imagine if you protected your mate's bike and they were like, thank God you gave me that offer code.
That's true. That's true.
All right. There
All
you
right.
go.
Thanks, HipLok.
Thank
We're going to
you,
head back
HipLok.
to the episode now.
Back into the episode.
Cheers.
What an ad break.
What an ad break.
Fantastic. One of the best.
Okay, we're gonna move on to present day at some point, but I'm still loving the idea of you pushing up your downhill bike in the rain in the UK. Like, it got better, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Nah.
I'm still doing it just because I love it.
There must have been some crazy differences though that you had to sort of, like, obviously language is one of the gnarliest things, to move somewhere and not be able to speak the language. So I guess you picked that up pretty quick.
Yeah, not that quick, but yeah, it was like probably like, I don't know, like 1-2 years, like slowly learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to school a bit, then didn't really learn to speak there, but I learned quite a bit of like the rules and like where to put the words and stuff like that. And then obviously working the roofing, like I was working with Brazilian people, but then I also had to talk to like some like
Materials
English or Polish or like some other people, and then you would start learning a bit as well. And then in the races, when you didn't really talk to much people, but when I tried to, you're just learning like.
You've learnt like a mountain bike form of English.
Yeah, pretty much. And roofer slash roofer.
It's got a roofer slash mountain bike accent. Insane.
Pretty much. Yeah, not bad. But then it got really good when I like moved to Derby, and then I started working like a more large, which is this distributor in UK. And then I started working there, and then like I was working in an office, which I had to speak English all the time. Like so then my English just took like the next step, and it got really much better.
When was your first race in the UK, and what was it like?
So first one was Fort William World Cup, and
first race was a World Cup.
Yeah, because I moved in 2014. I moved in 2014 in May, and I think Fort William was in July. So my dad was already building a bike up for me before I got here. So he had like frame, forks, and then like chain reaction, some parts for it. And it was crazy story as well, because like my dad didn't have a car, so we went to this dealership not knowing anything about it, how to own a car in England, and also like not speaking much English. The guy was a legend. The guy that sold us the car like helped us do insurance, because we didn't know we needed insurance. You don't need insurance in Brazil. So helped us do all that stuff. Like got this Focus State, Mondo State. And then the idea was my dad was going to take me to Fort William from London. leave me there. So we went to the Decathlon, bought like a tent and like some stuff for me to sleep in, sleep bag and stuff like that. So I was gonna stay there by myself, and he was gonna come back to work and then go back and pick me up. But luckily, as he got there, he realized that was not
9
really,
hours away.
yeah, that wasn't really like. And bear in mind, he never have drove in UK as well. So he first time driving UK was a trip to Fort William, like pretty gnarly. So we got there. It was like him and my mom, and then me, and my dad. Like they slept in the car. They stayed there. I slept in the tent that I bought at the Decathlon, and yeah, that was my first experience like doing a World Cup. I was thinking I was gonna qualify, and I was like, oh, imagine if I get a podium. I was like totally delusional. Like I think like Rachel put like 30 seconds into me. I was like dead last.
Really?
Really, really bad. Like
Where?
it's probably not the like if you say to someone, "Oh, come race a World Cup," you wouldn't say to them to come to Fort William to race their first World Cup, would you?
Quite something to get used to, yeah.
No?
No.
It's probably the gnarliest track to like race for the first time.
But
Like
there's all these things are surrounding it, you know, like obviously the obvious one is language, picking up language, but like all of these like differences between where you've lived and where you moved to. Like surely there were some crazy ones at first. What did you notice about UK when you first moved there? Quite a big question, isn't it? But like
yeah, it's a lot of things, isn't it? Like the food is massive, like the weather and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, those are the main ones. But it's not something that I really put too much effort into thinking about it. But
I think also, so you've rocked up to Fort William in a Mondeo. What did that track compare to? Had you ridden anything like that before?
no,
Never.
Because by that time, I also have not ridden anything in UK.
Right.
So I came fresh from Brazil straight into Fort William World Cup. And another funny thing is like they have Group A and Group B in the World Cup, yeah. But myself, I didn't speak English and I didn't know that was even a thing. I ended up like practicing in Group A and Group B practice. No idea how.
full practice.
Yeah.
Just doing laps.
Bernardo was on this race. He was like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "Oh, I'm practicing." "Man, you Group B practice." I was like, "What is that?" Got away with it though.
Nice.
Should probably been disqualified.
Ignorance is bliss.
Wow.
But yeah, that was proper crazy.
So yeah, first race in the UK was Fort William. Didn't go as you expected, but you were confident before. Like, where did the confidence come from? Obviously, from coming from Brazil, from winning stuff. Then you come over to Europe, and the level is different, right? Is that fair?
Yeah, for sure. Like in the back of my mind, I always knew like he was gonna be hard. Also, Markov always told like, "Oh, like kind of don't give up," and like it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be really hard. So like that was a starting point, isn't it? Like, so I kind of not raced World Cups anymore, and the plan was, let's race the local, like the nationals, for like from now on to get the speed, and then to start like, cause I was fast, but like on Brazilian tracks, so I needed to be fast now in like UK, Europe tracks.
Yeah.
And it was a work to be done there to get there.
That's so cool that you look at it like that, though, and didn't just... I don't know. It's a good way of looking at it. Because I spoke to Win.
Fast,
yeah, you know you're fast, but it's just a case of figuring it out. It's like, at this point, it's a puzzle to figure out, like, how do you get Europe fast?
Yeah.
I spoke to Win last night, and he said, obviously, the first World Cup didn't go as planned, and then you took a year off from World Cups, and that was to race UK Nationals.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah.
What were you trying to piece together there then? What was the key?
Just getting a bit more familiarized with like the environment, and like just getting more bike time and getting used to the tracks, and just like like trying to, because obviously trying to get out as well like the race pace similar to what the riders, because obviously even in the nationals, you're racing like the other turn. Like back then, all these top guys they used to come to the nationals. So you're racing like athletes that are actually racing the World Cup and doing top tens or podiums. So like it's like you're racing a World Cup, but you're not needing to spend loads of money to go into one.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like trying to get that feel for it, and knowing the tracks and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember like it was one race where my dad said, "Oh, like you were the fastest like through." So my dad is like really like he never says like if like he's not like that dad that is like really, "Oh, you're the best." He's like really like blunt, and like he never say like, "Oh, I'm the fastest" or anything like that. And one race he told me like in the finish line, on the sprint of the finish line, he said, "Oh, like you were really fast there, like probably one of the fastest like of the elite riders." And I remember when I was younger in Brazil, that happened as well.
Okay.
Like I wasn't still like good in Brazil. I wasn't like average, and "Oh yeah, you were really fast there." And then I ended up being like the guy in Brazil, like really good.
Yeah.
So like that, I don't know why, but that like I was like, "Oh, okay." So
We're onto
like that
something.
gave me like some hope. Like if I'm fast here, that means it's gonna come. Like just need to be patient. But obviously it's like such a long journey, and like I think I could have given up like so many times, but I just been like super stubborn and like never gave up. So that's why it kind of everything worked out. I think like obviously not I'm not a world champion or anything like that, but still got some pretty solid results in the World Cup and been doing some pretty solid stuff. So
Yeah.
and I managed to get fast and compete equal to equal with like the top boys. So it was like the goal is always been the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. The goal has been achieved
Yeah, kind of.
in
Yeah.
many ways.
Yeah.
What's the ultimate goal? Win a World Cup.
Yeah, I don't think being like super realistic and not trying to be like downside myself, but I don't think that's ever gonna be doable now anymore.
Why?
I don't know. Like I don't know. I would love to, but I just feel like I'm like 30 now already, 30 years old,
Yeah,
and
young, bro.
I got so close to like being a team like a few times, and it never happened. And if I'm not in a team, it's pretty much impossible to do it, because at the minute I'm having to work as part-time and like ride and train, and you gotta be full into it to win a World Cup and be in a team and have all that structure behind you. And I wonder if like that, you know what I mean? Like I still have hopes that I would still get a ride, but like I just can't see like me winning a World Cup without that.
Yeah, whether the era of kind of being a wild card and pulling a result out of
I don't think
B pits, whether it's even possible now. Is that what you mean?
I don't think no one ever won a World Cup being as a privateer, have it? Just factory riders.
No, I suppose it's never really a. But you do get some like crazy breakout results, right?
It's rare, super rare, but maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that stands out. There's been a few. Probably best not naming names, because we don't want to do like people that have done like one and dones. But there's been a few breakout ones, right? Especially round ones, things like that. We're gonna jump around a little bit, but I'd be interested to know, what does this year look like for you at this point with all the changes and stuff like that in the sport? Are you racing World Cups this year?
I'm doing the first round in Poland,
Yeah.
and then kind of make a decision from there.
Yeah. How has that worked out of interest? Like, because you're not on a team at this moment.
No.
Still privateer.
Yeah.
Always been privateer.
Yeah.
How then do you get
To race?
Yeah.
With the new rules, you mean?
Yeah.
So I was national champion last year in Brazil. So
Okay.
if you're a national champion, you can enter to
Right.
race the World Cup. So
Okay.
that's how I'm allowed to race it.
Mm.
I also have quite a lot of UCI points, so I could also race that way.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the plan. But I definitely don't have the budget to do all the all the rounds. So I want to do like Poland, see where the pace is, and then make a decision. But yeah, focusing quite a lot now on the Red Bull events, like the urban racing and the hardline stuff.
Okay.
Just feel like you get a lot more out of it. It's a lot cooler event. And then Red Bull actually wants you there. Like, you know, like they look after you.
Yeah.
You have like great commentary with Rob and Elliot. It's free to watch. Everyone's watching. So yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know if World Cups made like Warner Brothers or whatever made the wrong decisions there, but it's not looking great on that side of things. But it's still where all the fastest riders go, and I still like not gave up yet, and I still want to put some solid results and try to get that team into a team. So yeah, that's why I'm going to Poland and see where we are, and then
make decisions from there.
I'll probably won't race Ludenville, which is the second round, but like then after that, like it's a few of the races that I really like the tracks and I want to go. But yeah, like mainly budget wise is like the issue, like to do all of them, especially like this year with like being 10 rounds.
As a privateer, what ballpark, what are you looking at to do a full season?
What, like
money wise?
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Like, 'cause it depends what you're doing. 'Cause like at the minute I spent a lot of money going to South America to race the urban races, which was it was really worth it because I did really well and like got my name out there, and like I'm actually good at that as well, which is quite impressive. Like not being racing those races and then do well there. So yeah, it depends what kind of races you do it, but like a World Cup, 10 rounds, it depends also if you take a mechanic or not. I never took it, but if you do it properly, and it's to be around 40 grand with a mechanic and stuff.
Right, yeah.
But you probably can get away with like if you do it by yourself, like 20-25 grand. To do a whole season. But
a lot of money, man.
Yeah, it is a lot of money.
Hell of a lot.
And then depends how you go as well, you know, like if you drive, if you go by plane, and like it's
well, even if you won every round, you still wouldn't cover your costs, which is crazy to think.
No. Yeah, well, like 20 grand is like on a really cheap budget. Like, but you think you can make it. But that's only World Cups as well. It's not like the South American races and stuff.
Street races. At what point did you realise you're good at urban racing?
When I did the first round.
I sort of knew the answer, but
no, but to be fair, like I thought a lot about it. Like why, because everyone keeps asking why the South Americans are
people
so
see
good.
Brazil, they're like, natural, but you didn't actually grow up doing it.
But like I put some thought about behind this, and like when I was a kid, like obviously we didn't have like in Brazil, we don't have like you guys have here, like you have like the Surrey Hills with like 30 trails like there that you can go and ride. Like, so what I used to do is go to the city and find some stairs and go down the stairs or jump the whole set of stairs. Just as a kid, like all the people in the city would like hate us, just like terrorizing the old ladies and stuff. Find the churches and jump the stairs in the church. So that's like why I grew up like riding. That was like having fun and riding for me. And I don't think it's any different. It's probably for all the South American kids, because there is not much place to go and go and ride properly. It's not close enough, or it's not viable to go. So you just go to the town and find some free ride stuff to do it. So that's how I grew up. And then we also had in Brazil a urban race that was like every year that was run, and like I raced as junior and I won, and that was like only stairs, and didn't had any like crazy stuff like the ones we do in Mexico and stuff. So I raced that, and I was alright at it, but that was back in 2013, 2012.
Right.
So since then, I didn't touch urban at all.
So Genoa was it Genoa the first one back?
Yeah.
So what made you kind of got the invite, decided to go for it? put budget into that over, let's say, another international race?
Yeah, it was quite hard to get the invite as well. I was like trying to get the invite, trying, and then like last minute, like they said, oh yeah, like you can come. So, but that by then it was October, so the season was finished, and I think I had like 500 quid left of the budget.
Yeah.
So I bought the tickets, went to Italy, and then did the race, and like qualified third place, which was like in my head I was like, I want to qualify, which is really hard. Like you have like really big names going and not qualifying, like big names in the World Cup circuit.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, but a top 10 would be cool, but I want to just want to qualify. So I did. I went to my quali run and qualified third. So I was like, wow, like I was like surprised and like obviously super happy about it. And then on my race run until the last split I was third as well, and then I crashed. So
you're right at the pointy end without even realizing that you were that quick riding urban.
Yeah. But then like obviously you still think, oh, maybe it was just that track or what it is, and then I backed up with Valpo and Mexico. So
you've done 3 races in total, urban.
Yeah.
And one of them you qualified third.
Then Valpo I finished 4th.
Yeah.
I was 0.7 off the win and 0.002 off third.
Okay.
So it was like super close.
Wow.
It was like it was a bit sweet because the guy that was in third was like my friend, like one of my best friends from Brazil, Lucas. So me and him were like super close. Like I was so happy for him, like when we were in the hot seat. But then I was like, I really wanted that podium as well. Like, so it was cool. But then in Mexico, it finally happened, and I managed to get third. Yeah,
must be exciting after grafting all these years to like just find something just that seemingly naturally you're really fast at. Yeah, no, it's crazy because you also don't really know why or how, and everyone says, oh, it's mad, it's crazy how you go that fast, but like for you it just feels natural and normal fast. Yeah like everyone, oh, so sketchy, but like it's sketchy, but like I don't know, the tracks are not changing though. Like that's the difference between like normal downhill to urban downhill. You will get at the same thing every run, so I find it quite easy to like find that limit and just kind of, you know what I mean, like stick to it because nothing's going to change. Yeah, definitely. So it's almost like at a World Cup, it's like maybe something in your head is making you slow down because a turn might be blown out or something, just
more holes and
deep in your brain. Yeah, that's fascinating, that is.
And talking to the
approach.
Yeah, pretty much. And talk to the Colombians, they say the same thing as well. Yeah. Like, the biggest difference is like the track is not changing, where in the World Cup is changing all the time. And it's the same thing for them as well. They probably grew up just riding stairs as well. Yeah. Like that's how they kind of like get kind of introduced to the sport, I guess. And then that's why they are so good at it, because it's natural and familiar. And when you get like the Europeans coming, they never really rode, because you can't ride stairs here, because if you go into town, and like police probably will like do something about it, where back in South America no one cares. So they get quite intimidated by like the urban races, I guess, I'm guessing. And then it's where like for us just kind of feels a bit more familiar. I don't know, I'm just guess working, but no, I think you're right. And like I've seen, obviously Jono came to Mexico his first year, and you could see how much it was like a learning curve. Yeah. You know, you turn up, don't understand what's going on, you don't understand that your practice is super short, and that, you know, you can't find the limits of the track or the limits of your bike on those stairs and stuff. You could see how like overwhelming it is. So I would never normally say that someone would like storm in and do so good. I think it's super hard to. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It is really hard, and like even though I had all this background, I still not have really like rolled any stairs for like 10 years. So like I was really impressed that I could like perform that well in Genova when I did.
Excited for next season, I guess.
Yeah, it must be super exciting too, because your career has almost just had this, almost like, not a revival, I'm not going to say that, but you've just found this thing that you're like one of the dudes, like you are one of the dudes.
Yeah, nice.
Which is crazy, man. How cool is that?
It's really cool.
And the series isn't going anywhere. Like, for me, it's one of the most exciting.
If anything, it's going to get way more popular, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what gave me the ticket to go to Tasmania as well, because in Genoa I talked to Rob, and from that talk it's what kind of gave me the ticket, because I just said, I'd be keen to do it. He said, it's impossible. Like, everyone wants to do it, and I was like, just keep me in mind if like anyone like kind of bails out, I'll be keen. And then it came like the result from when and then I don't know, like they probably saw me doing well in Genoa, even though I crashed, and then I was invited for Tasmania, and then now invited to Wales as well, which is really sick.
Yeah, and you come away with a podium at really one of the biggest races, you know, in a season of downhill racing, Cerro Abajo, Guanajuato. To be stood on the podium must have felt pretty good. Oh
yeah, like that was the goal. Like since Genoa, that was like the goal, being on the podium, because then I knew it was achievable, and to make it happen. And yeah, like especially like against like the guys that are like the fastest. Like we didn't have much like, because in Valpo we have quite a lot of crashes and quite a lot of things happening, where in Guanajuato we didn't have much. We had like only Philip Polk really that crashed, but then like the rest, all the riders were like pretty much there and like finished the run and did a solid run. So it was pretty
true race.
Was pretty stoked to get that third place. It was unreal.
I
like that track, man. Can we talk about that track?
Yeah, of course.
Man, like, fair play.
No, you were hyped,
Yeah, no, it's like super well built, like, and like coming from Valpo, which they have to build everything. Like, we do track walk and we don't even know where we're going, which is another crazy thing about these urban races. Like, imagine you doing track walk and like not knowing where we go or not seeing the features. And like there, you have a bit more time to build all the way. And it's already you can see everything. And all the features super safe, like even though like super scary, but super safe.
Yeah.
And but man, the pedal at the bottom. And you are in altitude there as well.
Dude,
it's crazy. And you have like the uphill before the wall ride, the uphill. So you pretty much have to put like so much like effort there. So you like pretty much blown already like by the top, but you know like you have like probably like a minute like sprint like at the bottom.
Yeah, the pedals are really tough, aren't they? There, it's mega physical. It is
and
mega
like
physical.
I don't consider myself one of the strongest guys, like especially comparing with like Slavic, that like managed to like pull a lot of time on the bottom bit on that like pedal bit.
I saw actually on the results sheet it does the runs, you know, like the graphs. It was super interesting where you made a lot of time on the pedal bit.
Yeah,
maybe you're fitter than you think.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I think it's again like
Derby e-biking.
It must be like my stubborn mind.
Yeah,
I just never like really kind of gave up. I was dead. Like I couldn't pedal more, but in my head like my brain just took over, and like if you want that podium, you need to keep pedaling, and I just found like inner strength from somewhere else, because it's so hard.
I really like the series because I like how each different round, like obviously it's in a town and it takes just elements from each town, so each one is completely different, and I think you could add more to the series and it's going to be completely different depending on the location and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're basically building a track down something that it's already built for human beings to live on.
Yeah.
So it's like it takes something on from the city.
Yeah, it's every single round is unique, isn't it? Like
yeah,
all unique. Like Italy is completely different to Valpo. Valpo is completely different to Mexico. They are all their own thing. And but it's super cool. It's crazy, really.
What do you see for the future of urban racing? Do you think, like, are you gonna obviously lean into it more?
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
think like that's the big focus at the minute. It's just a shame that we don't have that many rounds yet.
Yeah.
We have 3 rounds. So it's like, yeah, we have like now Genova in August this year.
Yeah.
And then again next year, like at start of the year, Mexico and Chile. But
Brazil would be nice.
yeah, it would, eh? Yeah, I think Lucas was telling me he had a meeting with the Red Bull guy, but they're not really interested in bike. They like more interested like in skateboard and surf and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe like, yeah, you never know.
Mm.
That would be cool, really cool. And like the potential is there as well. We have like cool places to do it. But yeah, it'd be nice to have more rounds so you can, because the minute is like a bit too spread out, so
Yeah.
you can't really make just doing that. You know what I mean? You need to do World Cups and other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm sure like we'll have more rounds for sure. This is just a progression, isn't it,
Yeah.
of the whole thing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's seemingly a formula that works well. What would you, if you were going to do, let's say you're going to do a 7-round urban series, how would it change your bike, your training? What would be different for you?
Great question.
Yeah, the training is it's the hardest thing, isn't it? Like, it's like I done 2 days of training since I started doing urban. You don't have anywhere to go.
Right.
I've been Google Maps trying to find places with stairs and stuff like that, but it's really hard. Like you don't have anything, and the stuff that you have is it's really not good.
Mm.
But yeah, if you had a proper series, I don't know, like each track also is different. That's the problem. You need to know what the tracks are like. At the minute I race with my enduro bike, and then I put double crown forks, which I think is, in my opinion, is the perfect combination for those races. It's like still feels like you're riding your downhill bike because you have the double crown and like the same setup as your downhill bike, and gives you that confidence with the double crown. But then when it gets to the pedal bits, like it feels somewhat like your enduro bike, so it doesn't feel that heavy. You can sprint better, and I think that's like kind of the one. But I think it's still a lot with tires. Like,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right, talk to me.
Like
what are we putting on? Because I wouldn't know. I
at the minute I've just been racing with normal tires, and like all the guys that do well seem to do that.
When you say normal, what are you running?
Just like your normal like downhill tire.
Okay.
Like I try to go with like a tread pattern that is a bit like, you're not gonna go with a spike tire. Try to go with like a tread pattern that is made for dry. So I use the 13s, the grappler, which is like the front one, and then I use like a all-terrain in the rear, which is a tire that is more like for like dry conditions, and it rolls a bit faster on the rear. And that's my tire combo. But I wonder, did you see the Spanish lad, Edgar in Mexico? He cut all the knobs of his tires.
I did see it. So it's like a semi-slick, kind of a
It was a normal tire, but he cut all the knobs.
Yeah.
In the centre.
I think
I
on
thought
the
it was
side
the
as well.
centre.
On the side as well, I think he cut like a bit.
I think more than one person did then, because I saw it was like a semi-slick attempt,
Yeah.
a cut
But-
semi.
The problem with that is the braking.
Yeah.
Because then you lose all the
traction.
braking traction. When you brake it, the bike would just skid. So
Yeah,
that is the problem with that.
Yeah.
Even when talking with Lucas Barber, he used the same slick tire, I think in Valpo, like on the old track, and he didn't use it on the new track.
Yeah.
But it was all because of the braking, like, because then you can't brake as hard. You probably will gain a bit like on the straight, but then if you can't brake as hard, then I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it?
And this
Yeah,
is the
it is.
super interesting thing for you as well, where you live, because those other guys can probably test this stuff, whereas you don't have the option at the moment,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
'Cause you're not doing it
Yeah.
regularly,
Yeah.
you know.
And the other thing as well is like I find that the tire with the knobs a bit harder, I think it's good. Not too soft. You know, like how our downhill tires are super soft, especially when you race in South America, which the weather is really hot. The tarmac get really hot, especially in Valpo. You had quite a few riders on the bottom bit, which was like long tarmac turns, and we had like 3 or 4 that just spun out. The rear just spun out, and I bet that the knobs of the tire just folded, and they just lost traction because the tarmac is so hot.
Yeah.
And downhill tires, the rubber is so soft, and it just ends. The knobs just fold and you just lose traction and you spin. So like maybe like a harder compound, it'll be better.
Wonder what an actual slick would feel like a full slick.
Yeah, but then again, it's just the problem is the braking.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have any.
But it works for superbikes.
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense in my head what I've said, but it does. Like
yeah.
You know, there must be a way of making it.
Yeah. I mean, superbikes is just a constant surface, isn't it? I guess. Like,
yeah,
I think
you're not losing. You're talking about losing, like breaking on stairs.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
No,
it's a fair one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thought, isn't it? Especially when you start talking about like tarmac being
hot.
Yeah.
Which is literally what they want, isn't it? They want the rubber to bubble. That makes it grippy. You know, and get sticky. So. Yeah. Mate, this one is the easiest ad read that we do. We're just going to speak from the heart. WORX have been a sponsor of ours for years, and we've both used the majority of the tools at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, I've really sort of redone my house with WORX tools.
Yeah, I've got a plethora.
I bought in mine.
Show and tell.
This is you what? Sorry, yeah, it's show and tell. Exactly. So this is my Hydra Shot, and I bought it in because I wanted to do show and tell and talk about the things that I really love about it.
Please.
Is that okay?
I'd love for you to do that, please.
So basically, one of the key things beyond the actual function of this, which we'll get into in a second, it's the fact that it's part of the power share system. Now, every single power tool I own, and whether that's garden, home, DIY, my chainsaw, trail building, I've got 2 chainsaws.
Ooh.
I need to actually keep my voice down, otherwise WORX will hear and they'll stop sending me anything. I'm spoiled.
Yeah.
But this power share, this goes in everything I own. So I can't tell you how easy that makes life.
Yeah,
I've always
100%.
got something charged up. I'm not the most dialed with like having a set up charging area. So it's always good to know that you've always got batteries.
Yep, it's true.
Pop it in here in a waterproof case.
Nice. There it is.
And you're off to the races. Now this I use attached to my hose.
Yep.
But previously I've used it with the hose connection.
Mm-hmm.
That goes into a water source, so you can do it from a bucket or a river, so you can have it in the back of your van to clean your bike.
Yeah, super handy, portable, of course. Like I've done that before. I've finished a ride, I've been parked near a water source, whether it's a puddle or even actually taking water in
Portaloo.
a 25 litre drum.
I saw Davey once
gave it the blue wash down. I dipped it into my bucket that I'd taken. Washed the bike in the back of the van. Dry when you get home. Sometimes I even use my WORX leaf blower.
No, you don't.
To dry a bike.
I don't have a leaf blower.
Gangs.
I best get on the emails.
So
I'm
cool.
going to get a leaf blower on the go.
But yeah, love this brand. Love the tools. Super easy. I mean, the Hydra Shot's become a MTB must, hasn't it?
I mean, it really has.
If you don't own one, you may as well not have a bike.
Yeah, your bike's really going to end up landfill.
Yeah, basically yeah.
This is actually the nitro version as well. So this is more powerful.
Some extra beans.
It's got this like adjustable head, so you can adjust like the spray. We don't need to tell you what a pressure washer does. This does what a pressure washer does, but I can't tell you how good it is and how easy it's made my life. And I've been using it for so long. This is literally the easiest advert to do.
It's so good.
Before I had a hose fitting on my house.
Yep.
I used to live in a flat.
Yep. I
used to wheel the bikes into the flat. It was so annoying having muddy bikes. It just meant I had a muddy house. I got this. It literally changed my life. I'm not even joking. I could wash my bikes and I didn't have to live in a pigsty. And then I could get a girlfriend.
Dude.
And look at us now.
This jet wash has changed your entire life.
Yeah, it's meant that I can actually have a partner in life. I'm not just on my own with a muddy house.
I mean, what an endorsement.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is
and
mind-blowing.
What's even better than that, so people can get a partner, change their life,
Yeah.
and save 15%. At
How
WORX.
much?
15%, dude.
I
Say it
mean,
again.
the fact 15%, you're serious. I mean, the
right.
fact that they offer this product to general public as something you can just buy is ridiculous enough. And now we're offering it for 15% less.
Mate, you'll never see a single mountain biker again.
I mean, I kind of want to keep it secret a little bit. That's why I was a bit, it's the only downer about doing these ads. I wanted to keep it a bit secret. I don't want everyone to have the secret to my success in life. All right, maybe we're going overboard. We actually, do you know what? It's a product we don't really need to. The Hydra Shot is absolutely unbelievable. And you say we get 15% off. How do we get 15% off?
Head to WORX.com, enter the promo code The Ride Companion. It's on screen right now. The promo code is flashing black and orange. The Ride Companion at WORX.com. Change your life.
The
Clean
Ride
your bike.
Companion at WORX.com.
Yeah, easy as that.
Seems easy.
Is easy.
Change your life too. Thanks, WORX.
Cheers, WORX. Ollie's just nipped to the bathroom, so I thought I'd just have a quick HUEL break, which is actually the perfect segue into this ad. We are extremely excited to welcome HUEL to the podcast. If, like me, you end up running late, you don't have time for breakfast, and you just end up starving all the time, like I do, we've all been there, all right? You're racing around, you're trying to do meetings, you're doing school pickups, which I don't do. Whatever it is, you're going to need something delicious, easy, quick, nutritious to fill the void. So this podcast is now sponsored by HUEL, H-U-E-L, the world's #1 complete nutrition brand with over 400 million meals sold worldwide. Yes, you heard it right. That's 400 million. HUEL is trusted by people just like you and me to fuel their days with convenient, complete nutrition. So you can now actually try it for yourself with our exclusive discount code. You can get 10, in fact, no, we're not doing 10. We're going to do 15% off with our code RIDE at HUEL.com. But I also want to tell you about my personal favorite, okay? Strawberry banana. My two favorite things. I love strawberries. I love bananas. You can't go wrong with putting them together. Plus adding 35 grams of protein. These things leave you feeling full and you're not like scratching around for food in gas stations. You're not grabbing a quick fast food meal or whatever. You can actually tick that nutritional deficiency off with a good quality product. So yeah, this is my personal favorite. I also love the new black edition, the ready to drink. It's got another whopping 35 grams of protein, 27 different vitamins and minerals, and it all comes in one handy bottle. Basically it tastes like milkshake, and who doesn't love milkshake? So that's 15% off with code RIDE at HUEL.com. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with HUEL. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters. Biking. Cheers, HUEL.
We're back.
Great ad.
Great
Good
ad.
wee.
Great.
Yeah, very good. It was needed. Too much
I can't
water.
remember what we were even talking about.
We're talking about street races. It's a subject that I don't struggle to really go into because I find it so exciting. Well, I think we're talking to the right guy about it because it's probably exciting to you as well.
Yeah, it is pretty pretty much I'm into it now. Quite new into it as well, so I'm not that experienced, but yeah, it's good to just like throw ideas around, and yeah, but need to test then out and see how it goes. But yeah, it's definitely totally different from like what we used to do, which is in the dirt.
Yeah. How does your bike setup change? I know you said now that you'd have 180 downhill forks. What else changes?
Yeah, it's interesting because in Valpo I had to make the bike so hard. Like, so like in Genova I was riding with like around 85 psi on my forks, and I had to bump up to 120 psi for Valpo, and the shock I had to like also like super hard as well. But it's just like the compression you get in Valpo is you need the bike really stiff. And then I left the same setup for Mexico, and it was too stiff. I had to change it, so I had to go softer.
So specifically the steps
Still hard,
or the compressions.
Compressions, yeah, because you still wanted the bike somewhat supple for the hard, but somewhat supple for the stairs. Otherwise, you lose the grip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, every all the tracks, they have like different types of setup, which is interesting, isn't it? Like you'd fold, like you would have like one setup, and that would be it.
The
But
street race bike.
Yeah. No, yeah, but in general, you just run it stiffer, yeah, harder tires, stiffer suspension, and the rest pretty much the same. The gears as well, like I tried to go with like a bigger, like a smaller cassette at the back, and then a bigger chain ring, so you have like, because normally they are down the tarmac where you sprinting really high speed, so you want the gears to be quite hard, so you have like the cadence to sprint. And yeah, that's
what are the keys to going fast at an urban downhill race?
Probably not be scared of like the features and the track, and not get intimidated by it. Obviously you need to be fast, a fast rider, but then like it's probably a lot mentally, isn't it? Like if you get there and you're not intimidated by the features and you're willing to try and go faster, then it's half battle won already.
Yeah.
And then you're just getting faster and faster, like as the week goes, and you're still finding the limit as you're racing. So like in quali, in Guanajuato, like, you know, the corner before you go into the really technical steps. So just after the Frida's house, I felt my both tires, like, you know, I talked about the knobs. I felt both like I was like about to lose, and I just like managed to like make the corner. So that was the limit of that corner, and I found that in quali. So in finals I backed out a bit. But it's just that constant battle, like trying to find the limit of the track, and most of the time you will find it like on your race run.
Yeah.
And in Genova, I wasn't lucky, and I found the limit in the race run and crashed. And that's why you see so many people crashing on the race run, because they still trying to find that limit of traction, and ends up going bad.
When you're saying like not being intimidated by features, so let's take something like Frida's, like drop off that was at the off the roof this past race. What would that compare to on a downhill track where you?
It's just different, isn't it? Like, you know, you're jumping off someone's house is like, it's pretty crazy, and you don't have like crazy stuff like that in the World Cup.
No?
Like all the features are pretty small and easy, I would say. It's nothing like really gnarly. Like
it's the pace makes it gnarly.
Yeah. It's just like going really, really fast. But yeah, it's just like going off of like a board that is that wide, and if you fall to the right, you're falling from a 4 meters like house into concrete. To the left, same thing. So you need to make the land. It's just like the consequences, and like you're looking, it's super high.
Yeah.
It's a safe jump, but if something goes wrong, the consequences, like, it's huge.
It's kind of a perfect segue then in a way, because you've got a World Cup track which isn't that gnarly as far as like big jumps and stuff like that, and then you've got urban downhill, but in the middle we have hardline. So you first did hardline in Tasmania. That seems to sit in the middle, where you are going to look at features and be like, okay, that jump's massive, or that drop. So yeah, how did you go about navigating your way through the first hardline that you did in Tasmania?
Yeah, that was an experience. It's definitely called a hardline for a reason. Yeah, like I don't consider myself like as a very like jump like guy that does massive jumps. It's like normally when I go to bike park, I just normally go try and do like practice like technical track and go as fast as I can, and I always ignore like the jump line. It's because like it's a bit risky, could end up your season and stuff like that. So I definitely, before that, I definitely had to make like I afford to like go to the bike parks and actually hit their the jump lines and stuff like that, just getting comfortable with the jumps, because the jumps on hardline are so big,
Yeah.
and then the features between are like similar to what you're doing on downhill, at least on still really gnarly, but like more similar. And then but then the drops and the jumps are so big. But yeah, fair play to the guys that built that as well. It's like everything kind of works perfect. Like when I did the 8-foot creek gap in Tasmania, it's like super scared to do it because it's like massive.
Massive.
Just before we all did, like a guy crashed, Edgar, like crashed like really badly, and like practice was like interrupted during the morning because of it. So everyone like that didn't jump was like obviously with that in the head, and like, well, I still need to do that jump.
Yeah.
But like once you have the speed and you jump it, it's like the easiest jump. Like
Right.
it just works perfect. It doesn't kick you, doesn't do anything. If you have the speed, you get it perfect. But yeah, it's scary. But apparently the Wales one is harder.
Wales one, yeah.
It's harder. So let's see how that one goes.
Hyped, man. Looking forward to it.
What's your like approach to a track like that? Do you practice with other people? Do you?
Yeah, definitely. Like just try to follow someone that like already done the jump, so yeah, comfortable with it, and then just see roughly what the speed is, and then just do the jump. But yeah, it's mainly the jumps that I think the other like normal, the features between is not too bad. The actual riding, but at least in Tasmania. But let's see Wales, because apparently everyone says that the actual track between is really gnarly, like the rocks and roots and like Wales type riding, like especially G Atherton that built, so will gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Yeah. At least the canyon gap's not there.
Too. That should be fun if the river jumps back in.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I actually haven't heard any news.
No.
Well, the canyon, the river canyon, no, apparently it's not.
Oh, is it not?
It's not. No.
Okay.
Thank God for that. It wasn't stuck to do that anyway.
There's obviously loads of stuff we haven't spoke about along with your career and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, really wanted to make sure we spoke about working with Win, privateer project.
Yeah, no, it was...
So, yeah, I guess, again, we're jumping around a little bit here, but can you talk about that a little bit? And just privateer life in general, dude. It's so interesting. And obviously, we need to talk about the fact that at this moment, you don't have a frame sponsor. So we're definitely going to get into that. But, yeah, what's it been like, privateer? What are some of the moments throughout your career where you've really kind of struggled if it wasn't for support from people like Win?
Yeah, for sure. Like,
GT.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. They helped me like massively, like in the past 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne like kind of hooked me up like for the first.
I think you were one of the first, right?
Yeah, I think yeah. So he was like he came up with this project, privateer, and he linked up because I didn't have a frame sponsorship as well that year. So it was like I was part of the factory team for one race, but then it led into pretty much the whole season that I ended up like having the whole support of the everyone, because I did so well in the first round that I spent with them. They just like kind of like hooked me up and like took care of me, and like it was like a dream, really, like being there. I wasn't like really like being like a factory rider, but I was like being treated like a factory rider, and it was like all thanks to Win. And and then like obviously from that that year, then the GT factory team like they shut the doors, but GT still carried on, so I still kept riding the GT bikes and being supported by them. They hooked me up with frames and stuff, and Wayne always, like, as you guys know, like always tries to help it out. Even like last weekend, I stayed in the house with him in Fort William in the European Cup, the Acces. He's just like helping out and stayed with him, and like just good vibes, which is really cool, isn't it? Like to have someone like him that takes care of like riders that are like kind of struggling. We even had a Peru guy in the accommodation as well. It was quite funny.
A what guy?
a guy from Peru.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I thought it was like some medical thing. I was
no,
like,
no,
what does
guy
he
from
do?
Peru. Sorry.
He does it the right way as well, doesn't he, Win? Like, you
Yeah.
can tell he actually really wants to help. It's not
Yeah.
like about like...
Yeah, he cares. Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely cares. Yeah, like he gives tires away for the guys and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was definitely like, yeah, it was definitely amazing. But then obviously now GT,
Yeah.
like we were all sorted. They were super keen with the urban stuff after like last year Genova race, so they wanted to support me like properly for the season with budget, for travel budget, and wanted me to do the urban races. They were even worried about World Cups. They said, "Oh, concentrate on the urban races." Hardline, super stoked. Let's get you up, custom frame. And then from 1 week of everything being all good to the next week, then stopping the brands. So yeah, it's pretty big shame. Like all the riders lost their support, but also the people that worked there, because they even then didn't know. Like the guy that I was talking to, which was the marketing manager, he also didn't know that was happening, because the week before I was talking to him and everything was all good, you know. So yeah, pretty a shame really, but it's just life, isn't it? Like throws you some.
It's the bike industry at the moment, I think, as well, but it is obviously quite unfortunate.
Yeah,
For
especially
an athlete like yourself that needs
Yeah.
help to get to these races, and obviously bikes.
Yeah,
That
well,
way
it's
you
just
can't do it.
not only me as well, isn't it? Like it's all loads of other riders and the people that was involved with the brand, and you just wouldn't thought that a brand that big like GT, like everyone already had a GT in their life, I guess. Like it's such a heritage brand, isn't it?
Yeah.
To just pose like that is pretty gnarly.
So where has it left you at this moment with a frame sponsor?
Yeah, no, I still ride in GT.
Yep.
Because I don't want to buy another frame. Shoots at the email everywhere, but it was just too late in the season. And like I said, the bike industry is really tough at the minute. So yeah, didn't manage to find anything. So I'm just still riding the GT is what I've been riding for the past 2 years. The bike's really good. It works well. So I just, the minute don't have anything, but keen to
Open
guess.
offers.
Yeah,
Well, mate, you're in a
keen to
good,
guess something.
you're in
Yeah,
a good spot. That you know, if you just think of your calendar, it's quite a nice calendar
yeah,
for a bike company to jump on board with. So.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah, the opportunity is there, isn't it? It's like it doesn't
Yeah.
even need to be, I guess, like a downhill brand, because I'm racing my enduro bike on these like the urban racing, so
Yeah.
still can promote that bike, and day to day you just ride the e-bike anyway. So, but yeah, no, it's definitely a tough one, and they like obviously with the plan was to do World Cups because I would have the budget from GT, but without that, it left me with a very small budget from like the sponsors that I have at the minute, which are supporting like Suntour, Neo, Limo 2, and and some other brands, A13 as well.
Okay.
So
That's something I also wanted to ask you, obviously, with moving to Derby, the home of what was previously more enlarged,
yeah,
which for those listening was a distribution company based in the UK, who unfortunately closed their doors a few years ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago, I think now.
yeah.
So I guess you were working there. How did that have a knock-on effect as well?
Yeah, for sure. Because they supported us quite a lot, like me and my brother.
Yep.
We used to have the events fun from then, and then we used to travel all around, go to the World Cups with it, and it was like fuel paid, everything. Everything they helped us a lot, and then obviously we lost all that. When they shut down. But yeah, it's just these things just happen, doesn't it? Like you can't make stuff up. But then, after that, I started working for E13. They opened our office in UK.
Oh, right, okay.
Because more or less they were importing E13, so E13 opened our office there, and then I'm working there, which is quite cool.
Is that what you do now? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's me and Joe, he was also the guy that was working at more large, and he was the brand manager of E13.
Okay.
But he was also the guy that created the team, and the whole reason we moved there was because he helped us, and we were in the team, and also big thanks to him.
So what do you do?
But yeah, like a
What's his
bit
job?
of everything, because it's just me and him in the office. So we just like pack the orders, do a bit of customer service if people like break the rims or break something on the bike or have some random questions. Yeah, just a bit customer service, and then yeah, when the orders come in, get the orders in the warehouse, book them in.
I bet people find
yeah.
that well interesting. They don't realise who they're dealing with. They're
Yeah.
dealing
Yeah.
with one of the fastest racers in the world, a gun for hire.
Man, there's some random guys like, yeah, I didn't do anything and my ring just broke. Mate, I ride those rims. I know what you need to do to break them. Don't bullshit me.
Seemed fine for hardline.
No, I didn't even ride anywhere. I just went to the town and it just broke.
I jumped off a roof.
Yeah. Come on, man. It's funny, but no, it's good.
So you work in the bike industry, basically. Is that part-time, full-time?
Yeah, part-time.
Part-time?
So like 3 days a week, and then the other 2 days I normally riding my e-bike or my enduro bike.
Yeah.
Or up at Dovey.
Okay.
Riding the downhill bike. So yeah.
Rad. That's so cool. Again, I didn't know that. I didn't know you continued working in the bike industry. So
Yeah.
super sick.
It's pretty good, and they are kind enough that let me do the races I have in my calendar and help me out that way. So yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty dreamy job.
Dreamy.
Better than that, just if I didn't work and just rode my bike.
Of course.
But yeah, we're not there yet.
No.
Dude, you can't be far off.
Can't be, I was going to say
Yeah.
you can't be far off. It must be, super close.
Yeah.
I'm hyped for even just talking to you. I'm excited. I'm excited.
so
about
exciting.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Again, kind of a kooky question, but we'll shoot for it. But like, you now live in the UK, you want to focus more on urban racing. Is there a option to move back, or are you like happy living in the UK? You can be brutally honest, because not many people are.
Like these past 3 weeks being unreal. If it was like that all the time,
Okay, it's been hot.
Yeah, hot and dry trails and long hours. But man, winter sucks here.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it sucks.
No, it's rough. It's rough.
Man, it's 3 o'clock in the evening and it's already dark. And during the day it's grey. It's cold. It's wet. It's not good for mountain bike, is it?
Not really.
Or
no.
anything.
I don't know much different, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I know. Kind of stuck here now.
Oh man,
You've seen the other side.
I had some tough days on like where I have like my hands all frozen, my foot is all frozen, and I'm riding my bike in the wet, and I'm just
like,
questioning.
why?
Yeah, just questioning my life. Like,
Why
what
am I
I'm doing?
doing this?
Would you
What
ever
I'm
move back?
doing. Huh?
Would you ever move back, do you think, later on in life?
Yeah, I would love to, but it's just so much things that it probably wouldn't work if I moved out.
Right.
Like traveling and stuff like that, because all the races are pretty much here, aren't they? So
Yeah.
and I kind of built a life here.
Yeah, do you
But
still feel attachment to...
But I would love to, and then like everything there, like to have what I have here, to have there would be quite hard.
Okay.
But I don't. I'd like it to live there again, but I don't know. It's a tricky one
So interesting.
because I went 1 year and stayed there like Christmas and New Year's and spent like a month there, and when it's winter here, there is summer, which is amazing, and that month was great. I rode bikes with Lucas Barba, and we rode downhill and rode enduro, and it was amazing. It was really, really good. But you have all the other stuff that you only see when you actually living there. That is tough.
Yeah, totally. You've obviously been then a privateer for your whole
pretty
career,
much.
right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, has there been any points during your career where you've thought, "Fuck, this is probably a bit too much. Like it's getting too hard"? Because I feel like, mate, I admire your outlook and your determination, and the fact that you've just like, I'm becoming more and more of a fan. Even though I know we're doing the podcast, but like the fact that you've had this thing happen as well with Urban is just like so exciting. But there must have been points traveling around Europe as a privateer where you're like, "Fuck, this is actually really hard."
Yeah, I don't like. That's a good question, but I just always kind of believed, and I really want and wanted and still want this dream more than anything in my life.
Yeah.
So like, and kind of like the never to give up is like not really an option in my head. So like, I never really had that thought in my mind, even when like through like really tough times. Like I always kind of find a way around, and I always have like good people around me, and like the people that sponsor, that supports me, they always back me up. And I just think like I never kind of let my mind think about like giving up or like through these tough times. It was never an option like giving up or stopping or doing something else.
Yeah,
it's plan A and there is no plan B.
Wow,
that's it. Like,
that's badass, dude.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that's badass. Really, really cool. So, if you were looking at your career right now, what are the goals? What are you aiming for in the next 5 years or something?
Yeah, it's crazy now because like
now you're an urban racer as well.
Yeah, like exactly. Like it like the whole World Cup dream kind of changed because of the urban stuff now, and like there is a path to only racing these Red Bull races now for me. I think like doing the urbans, doing the hardline stuff, and it feels like and sounds like that is the best option. But like inside me, I still want to do World Cups, and that was always the dream since a kid, and I still want to do well in a World Cup, which is where all the best in the worlds are. And so yeah, like I obviously want to focus on the urban and on hardline and those cool events that Red Bull does, but I still want to race World Cups and do my best there and be fast. Obviously I might always, when I go to a World Cup, I want to like be a top 20 rider, and that's kind of the goal, top 20. And yeah, I think once you're top 20, then like you're really close to that top 10 and so
what's
on.
finals now? Is it
30? I think
30. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's 20 goes straight into finals, and then you have LCQ that goes 10.
It's so confusing now.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But no, it should be interesting.
Okay. All right. So they're the main goals at the moment.
Yeah, the minute I've been focusing so much on the urban that I've not had much time in my downhill bike yet. I've been riding quite a bit, but that's why I'm doing like a race this weekend, and then next weekend I'm going back to Fort William for the Nationals as well.
Okay.
So I got a bit more racing and a bit more practice on a downhill bike, so I'm ready for Poland.
So National this weekend, Bala, Fort William, and then straight to Poland.
Yeah.
Bielsko Bala, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be cool. I've not been there yet, so should be. Everyone says it's a good track.
Riders loved it last year. Remember, I don't know if we did publicly, but I shat on it. But apparently it was really good.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I shit all over it.
Yeah,
I shit all over it, but then apparently it was actually sick.
No, we got like someone said that they'd seen a helmet camera and it was not good.
Yeah.
And it was like
turned out to be really good.
Yeah, really natural.
Yeah. Tape real wide.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Keen.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Well, we're rooting for you. Where can people find you?
Instagram, probably the best place. At Roger Vieira 8.
How do you spell Vieira? Just 1 second. That's the IEI Vieira, right?
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. I might have misspelt it earlier. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. We don't need to tell that.
No, that's true. I shouldn't have grasped myself
Too late.
up then.
No, it's been super fun, dude. Sit and chat to you. Thank you so much for coming on. And obviously people should go follow you, keep an eye on your career, because I think if you're not a fan by now, after listening to this, then there's something wrong with you, because I'm rooting for you, bro. Like, it's so cool to see this. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. Big thanks.
Yeah, big up, big thank you. And
thanks for listening too.
Yeah, thanks for listening too. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you guys for the opportunity and let me share a little bit of my story here, and really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
What you guys doing is great. It's great for the sport. It's great for the riders. It's great for everyone.
Thank you.
You the man.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you. All right, you sign us out.
Peace and love, everyone.
Like and subscribe. Mate, what an episode.
Brilliant. I thought you were really great, Davey.
Mate, and I thought you were even better.
Thanks, dude.
Better
Thanks,
than
dude.
normal.
Oh, cheers.
Hey, how about we tell our lovely podcast community to hit subscribe here.
Yeah,
Click on the video on Ollie's face.
that's right.
Click on the video on my face.
Yeah.
And follow us at The Ride Companion on Instagram.
They can like and comment as well.
Please do.
I'm going to try and get this energy and I'm going to bring it into next week.
Let's fast forward to next week's episode.
Done.